Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. This is my third attempt at making this video today. We're in the middle of a little golden book series, and this is part 4. And we're working on Cinderella. I'm doing eight or 9 of these vintage little golden books. I'm attempting to get through 9 of these, but we're doing one together so I can show you the process. And if you want to see the other parts of this series and see it from the beginning, where I take the vintage little golden book and tear it down and build a spine and pick papers and all that, go back a few. Now I have not trimmed out the front of this or anything. All we ended up at the last time putting the spine on the way that I do it with craft text and fabric on a graphics medium weight chipboard. So we're at the place where we're going to sew in the signatures. Now I've already bound my signatures up, and I can't unbind them because then all of my holes I poked will be out of line. And so I'm going to show you how I bind them with this little golden, this one, the tail of Peter Rabbit, and bind my papers to get them ready to sew in, and how I make a template. Okay, first thing first, make sure your papers are all in the place you want them to be. And what I had done is I took to the machine, I'll just show you this without taking this apart, the places I want to sew. Now we will add the pockets and the tuck spots after it's sewn into the signature, because I find it easier to do those after, except for the sewing pockets, because it gets too bulky and hard for me to sew into my signatures. So I have 2 signatures here, and this will be, it's a 2-inch spine, and I made a 2-inch template. And any place I wanted to sew in it, when I take the binder clips off, you'll see I have taken to the machine already. And I've done some stenciling. Other than that, I haven't really done anything else to the book since the other day. Now here's, I have some sewing, of course, and inking. I've done all the inking on the other one. This is the tail of Peter Rabbit. But what I do next is I find the middle of each signature, and then I take some binder clips and bind them before I sew in. And I don't have 4, but I take 4 binder clips. Here, let me sit down. I want to make sure, let me tilt this back this way a little bit. And make sure your signatures are the right way. Here's the first one. So this is, I number the pages, and if you've missed any of them, you'll see why if you look back. And this is the second signature. So I know these are the 2 signatures. Then I will find the middle, make sure my pages are all lined up and nice. If you have half pages, you know, make sure they're tucked and placed in the order you want. And then I get a good grip on my pages and put in my binder clips, and I do 4. And whoops, I left the cover out. That's the cover of the first signature. Okay, so I make sure these are nice and tucked right tight in there, which will make it easier when I go to sew, where I'm not fishing for my pages. So I just do 4, you know, 1 on each side, and then I'll do another one here and another one there. Okay, so I've done that to the little golden book. Let me put the tail of Peter Rabbit aside. That one's so cute. I'm looking forward to working on that one. That'll be like an Easter one. Then I make my template. Now we know we made a 2-inch spine. Okay, so I've got a 2-inch piece of cardstock here, and I have a little, here it is, my little ruler here, so you can see this is 2 inches. Now you're going to want to mark the top of the, you know, which is going to be the top of your template, and because if you mark your holes and they don't line up, you're gonna wish you had marked up, because I've done this before and they haven't lined up, where I kind of put the template aside before I marked my pages, and I shouldn't have done that. Then I usually, okay, so let me show you how I mark. You want to find the middle. This is an 8-inch spine, so I just fold it, or this case we would measure 4 inches down, and you know that's your middle, and then I just draw a line across, and I'll show you why I do that in a minute. Then I find the middle of that again. Now if I was going to do a 3-inch or a 3 signature, this would be great, because then I would just put a hole in the middle too. So I want them evenly spaced, so it's easy with a 2-inch. So I'm going in on 1/2-inch increments, and I will have a little bit larger space in the middle, but that's okay, because I will be putting a lot of tucks and stuff toward the inside, because I've already done my pockets on the outside, so that'll kind of fill it in when you put it in your book. Then I take my template and I make sure it's right in the middle of that spine. See that? And I will, and it's right in the middle of your book. And I'll take a little binder clip and I'll just secure that good. And then you can do this one of 2 ways. You can go ahead and right there and poke your holes through your spine. And I usually use a foam book for this, or an old book, and that way or a piece of foam, and that way it gives you a cushion to push into. So I've already done that, and I popped right through there, or you can poke your holes and then secure it and use a pen and mark through those holes and then poke through. And then you can see I have my holes here. So I'm going to be adding buttons to the outside of this, and this is a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and it makes it easy, because I'll put 2 buttons in between each on the outside of the spine, and we're going to let our thread show. So this will not be a hidden spine, because we're going to be adding the buttons. Now I've marked my signature, I've marked my holes, I've poked through, and let me show you how I did that. Since I know this is the top, this is the first signature, and this other one is the second one, so that is why I draw the lines. So what I did is I lined this up real good with the center of my book, and then I marked with a pencil where I wanted to put my holes, right where those lines are. So I know they line up real good with that hole. And then I did the same thing with the second signature right here. So I lined up my holes, lined up my template, and then I knew that that's where I needed my holes. So now we will go ahead and sew. Okay, I had a piece of thread cut, but now we're going to go ahead and, since I can't find it, since I messed up on the video the first time, I got myself on airplane mode so I don't get any phone calls. Okay, we could choose, I had another color thread that I liked a little bit better. It wasn't as yellow as this. Oh, here it is, right here. So how you measure your thread is you want to measure 3 times the amount, the length of your book. So there's 1, pull it up, just 2, and 3. And I'm going to do that twice because I have 2 signatures. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me put my thread aside. I'm going to add some pretty, I made some fabric ribbons for this, and I'm going to put these on the since this is Cinderella, laying over the outside of the book, and I thought that would be real pretty for the colors and everything in this book. So we're going to be doing that in a moment. Okay, here's, whoops, what did I do? Just a sec, I dropped my one thread, I think. Yep. Okay, so I have both my pieces. I'm gonna thread my needle. Oh, sorry guys, I have to get my cushion back on my chair. Let me pull up real close to the desk, because normally when I'm sewing in, I'm right over top of it, because it's a fumbly thing to sew in signatures, especially when you don't have the best hands, which I don't. Got a little bit of stuff going on. So, all right, so I usually come out about, well, maybe not quite that much, so I can make sure I have a secure hold on that. Now I have some buttons here. Let me make sure I have my 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I've got 8 fabric buttons, and I have 8 like a plastic type button. And I thought all these colors work nicely for the book. Let me make sure I got there. It's a good color here, or good lighting. I know it's uneven because I have an alt light on one side of the desk, and I have here, that's a little better. All right, now we're gonna go in through the middle. Let me get my book. This is signature number 1. Make sure you're going, you're upright, your pockets are, your book's the right way. Sometimes I'll see people put an arrow up. I just usually have pockets, and I can just look and see where I have my pockets. So I'm going in through the middle. This is the first signature. Okay, pull that through. I'm going to add 2 buttons. Okay, let me see which 2. Let's do this one first. Wait a minute. Yeah. I'll make sure the button's going the right way. So I'm just going to put through 2 of the holes of the button. Okay, see that? And we'll put that one. Yeah, this one in next. I don't think it really matters, but okay, so those buttons are on. Then I'm going to come in through the top hole. I'm trying to get where you guys can see it and where I can see it too. And in through the top hole of the book. Now I've inked most of the pages and stuff because I find it easier to ink. Okay, something's caught. It's okay. Whoops. Shoot, my button. Okay, that's good. That's all right. Those are fumbly to begin with, and then what you can do is you can pull them. When you pull this tight, then you can find where you want them to sit on your spine. Now this one looks like it's gonna just kind of move around a little bit, but I can find a way around that. I will find a way around that. Okay, now we're gonna go back in through the middle. My buttons are hanging up on me. Okay, hold your thread good here so you don't kind of go through like the thread itself, where it doesn't split the thread, because then it gets caught and you have a rough time working your book. Okay, so out through that one. Get that nice and taut. Then we're gonna add 2 more buttons. Okay, since I have a fabric one here and a plastic one here, I'm going to add another fabric. And here's the pink one. Wait a minute. And we will, let me see. Let's do this pretty cream colored one. Or, not pink, cream. This one, the cream colored one. Okay. Let me make sure that's going to, yeah. I want to make sure my buttons are the right way. I know this is probably going to be kind of hard for you guys to see, but it's hard for me to see. So, okay, and through the bottom. So this is the one side. Whoops. I kind of try to keep my book closed because, see, now I might have to fish. That's when sometimes you have to kind of, there we go. Whoops, nope. Trying to get right through all the pages. That's why it's important to use the clip, but, well, shucks. Shucks. I don't like to take the binder pages off, but we might have to, because, there we go, I found it. I got it. All right. Sometimes I have to take it. There we go. All right, let me check these buttons. They're hanging up on me. All right. Oh, that button flipped. Oh, well. You know what? I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to pull that back out. I'm going to have to thread my needle. I have to get this. The button's not on the right way. These aren't the easiest. Not these buttons. See, there's a right and a wrong way for that button. I could have left that, but some people may not even notice it, but I do. Now my thread is splitting. Oh, I gotta cut it. Sorry about that, guys. We might not get too much past sewing in the signatures today. And you know, I don't edit, so. Okay. Now, let's make sure. Is that button gonna be right? No. Let me see. Come on. There we go. I think that will lay right this time. Well, goodness gracious. There. All right, now back through the top. See if I can get it right through this time. Nope. There's one page in there that's, I think, a thumb was catching on. come on. There we go. Okay. And sometimes if you get your holes a little bit too big, I may come in and put some washi tape in the middle. So now let me check my buttons because I don't want them catching, and I want to make sure my thread is tight. Okay, there we go. Well, that button flipped. It's still not right. That button is still not right. No. Oh, shucks. Let's try it again, guys. This is painful. It's painful for me. You know what? I'm just going to thread it right through here first. That's it. Go in. I see. Got to go in one side. And then out the other there. Okay. Yeah, you guys, I hope you're still with me. I think I'd be gone by now. All right. There, now we got a good looking button. Now I gotta try to get back through this book. Okay. Yeah, I feel like applauding myself. Okay. Now I just gotta believe the second signature will sew in a little bit easier. Let me just see something. Okay. Now pull your book, pull your threads nice and tight. So you want to make sure that this thread is good and tight. So I'm checking it. Slide my buttons into place. Okay. That's good. Tight. Go in, down under the one. Tighten again. And then I tie a double knot. 1 and 2. All right. I can take a little bit of that thread off. Okay, there's the first signature sewn. Now, let's try that again with the second one. There we go. This is the second signature. Let me thread my thread and take off an end of this. This thread has a tendency to split a little bit. This one is really very good. It doesn't split. All right. Let's see if this one goes on a little bit easier. Okay, in through the middle. Actually, I'm going to take these binder clips off right here now. That way they don't really get in my way. Okay. Now we want to add our buttons. And I think I'll add a fabric covered one and a plastic one. And now you see what I did. I laid this flat so I could see what I was doing. That's a little bit better. I'm still gonna have to go back and fix that button down there, but we'll do that later. See, that's still laying. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna go in through the top. Okay, that went right through my pages. Some books just, you know, they just are easier. Some books I fight with. It's just the way it is. Okay, hold your thread when you're in the middle. So at least you can see that we all have our struggles when it comes to, some days are easier than others. Don't worry about the placement of the buttons. I will work on that. Okay. Still gonna flip on me until I get this good and tight. Now I have to add 2 more buttons. And I'm gonna flatten this. And we have, I'm going to use this cute one, little pink one. Okay. And, well, they're wanting to flip, but that's okay. And this cute little one with the bows. So we'll flip them back around in a minute. And ouch, in through my book. The bottom, we're in the bottom. And in the signature. Tighten your book, tighten your strings. Nice and tight. I think I have a button catching. Nope, I don't. These are cute buttons. I like the fabric buttons. All right, nice and tight. Then we're going to go under. Slip my needle off. And double knot. Phew, okay. Let's get our clips off and try to do a little bit of work on the pages. I add a few things before I'm done for the day. It's a late start today for me, so I just wanted to get one more of these in because it's been slow going for me. Okay, so I'm going to try to do something to make sure that these buttons, these are got a large shank, so they move a little bit more, but I might just put a tiny bit of glue or something on that, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Now, on the cover, I've got some, this I thought was cute, but I think I'm going to dirty it up a little bit. So let me just get a piece of my scrap paper, and we're going to glue that on with Fabri-Tac. And we're going to add this pretty trim to the edges. And then I have some pockets that I want to make out of these. And we'll do some tip-ins and different things. Let me get my, where's my box? Let me get my needle out of the way. I wanted to show you, I did get a little work done on some tags and some images that I had printed off the internet. Most of these are from, this I got from Pinterest, and I sewed some buttons on, and I decided we would make a pocket out of that. I thought that was cute. This is a little flip tag, and I'm going to make a pocket out of that, and this we're going to tuck right in here and make a pocket, make a pocket out of this on this very front page. But let's let me show you some of these tags. I'm making little booklets out of these, just like this one. And these will go in various places in the journals. So I have several of those, and you'll see these on my final flip through. And they're all mother and children and family images and children, because these are little golden books. So I thought they were kind of cute. And then I made some tags. Okay, now these aren't finished. We'll put some holes in these and we'll do that together. I sewed around this one. I made a little pocket tag where I just took the bottom of the, you know, the cardstock and flipped it up, and we'll put little somethings in there. And I sewed these. So I did some sewing. This I'm going to put in with a paper clip. And whoops, there's a little bag. So those are going to be going in these journals somewhere. Okay, I have this pretty trim that I thought would be nice here. Then I have my corner. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. These for the corners, because the corners are quite worn. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one on the corner, and I'll probably put those on with either E6000, maybe a little hot glue, or my Fabri-Tac, I'm not sure. And then I have this corner, and this one will go wrap around and you tighten that. I just push it tight. You can put little nails in it, but that's not necessary. I just glue them on. So those will go on the corners, but let's go ahead and work on this trim. I've got room on this desk. It's too stark pink, but this is the only one I have, and I liked it because I didn't want much on here, because I don't really want to cover too much of Cinderella. So we're just going to do a little inking on that. Now I don't know if there's a right side or a wrong side of this. I think this is the right side. It's hard to tell sometimes with this trim. Let me just add a little bit of antique linen to it. It's hard to tell. Just to make it a little bit more vintage, a little more vintagey. I don't want to put anything real dark on it. I don't want it too grungy. And no brush corduroy or vintage photo or anything like that. And I probably have just enough for the front and just enough for the back. Okay, let me cut it to size. And I'll use my Fabri-Tac. Let me make sure where I want to put it. Probably easier for me to work like this. Or we could do it like this. No, like this. Okay. I'm just going to add the Fabri-Tac right to the book itself. Or in this case, it's just the, I know if you missed the last one, I know you see there's not a lot of material wrapped around the side here, because I didn't want to cover too much of the book itself, but that's why I secure my books on the inside with Kraft Tex. So if you missed that, and you want to make sure you have a nice sturdy cover to spine, check out my the video before this. So I have a little bit I need to cut off here. Let's press this into place. I think I'll add a little bit more trim under here. I just don't want too much seeping out. Okay, so there we go. There's the front. A little bit more here. Alrighty. And down the back. Make sure. Yep. So get a, you don't really need a lot of glue. But I usually have a baby wipe out, just in case I have seepage. This is cute. And if you want to know the ages of these books, you know, as I do them, I think I did that in my very first video. And I was able to secure all of these for a very good price on eBay. I bid on them. And I actually got 10 or 11. But I'm only doing 9 right now. Well, it's going to take me a while. I will be doing projects in between. So, okay, now we're going to work on, I think I'm going to work on that fabric, these fabric ribbons. And this one I did a little bit of a decorative, oh, that's too short. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to use, let me see, I wanna make sure. This one's a little bit too long, but that's okay, I'll cut that off. Let me see how that looks. There, that's cute. I kinda like that. Let me just see how, oops, there's that piece of thread I was looking for earlier. Yeah, I think I'll probably use these. I just wanted to see how that would look. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's do these. I'm going to put one here. And let me just see that again. I think we'll go right about, let me mark where I want to. I have a pencil here somewhere. I have a lot of stuff here. Everywhere. You should see. Oh, I wish I could take my camera up and show you. I don't want it to be too far over there. Probably right about that, just so the green shows. So let me mark that. And that's where we're gonna glue this on. And I'll cut off the excess at the bottom after. Okay. I could use this for a tuck too. You can tuck stuff under your ribbons and, all right, that should be good. Line it up with where I marked. There we go. Well, I'm going to do that on, I won't do them all right now, but I'm going to put those on all the card stock places like this that show oops. And I guess I gotta take a little off up here. Unfortunately, I had to go through my thread. There we go. That's gonna be cute. So we'll do another one here. I definitely want one here. Now you see I do have a good size space here, but that doesn't bother me because we're gonna be, that will be filled out. It'll be definitely filled out. And I don't mind room between my signatures. That doesn't bother me. I usually have 3 signatures to 5 signatures, even more in my books, but if I have spaces between them, that's okay. Now, let me, okay, so that's right about where I want that one. Well, somebody came in a bad mood. Was that you, Ricky? That's because he has a bone in here. Especially if I'm going to, I like extra room as opposed to not too much room. Because these journals typically get full. I'll be putting a lot of stuff in them. Pockets and whatnot. I'll be doing pockets here and pockets here, so. Okay, so that's gonna be cute. All right, then we will do this one. Right there. Too many threads. Oops. I like for my ruffles. And how I do this, guys, it's simple. I just go to the machine, and you could do it with glue. You don't have to, or you can hand stitch it. And I simply just start like this in the machine, and then I just keep pulling it up like that until I get to the bottom. And then I usually like to have like a little tail. So that's how I do it. And I don't think I ever saw a video on that. There's probably another way to do that. I'm sure there is. But let me just, I want to close my book. See, now this one's kind of, that one is bending a little bit. So let's see about this one. This one, it's got a little bit of a bend, but that's okay. I'll take some of that off. It's not. Sorry if I'm mumbling. And I'll be doing one more of these, so I'll do that after, but we're going to do a couple pockets and stuff before I have to go. All right. I may add a little ribbon in the middle of this. I don't know. I'm just showing you the basics here. Whoops, sorry guys. The basics here on the camera. And I really don't want to rush through the books because I want them to be right because I'm going to be putting them in my Etsy shop. Okay, now I'll put a few more of those, and I may come in and do some lace on the edges of other papers in between. I wanted to do a little flip, whoops, out of this little book, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too far, you know, to the edge. So I think that'll work. And this will flip out, and you got a little booklet here. And I'm just going to glue around the sides at the bottom. Okay, and then what we'll do is make a pocket, a tuck spot. Okay. And then you have a little extra writing space. I might even come in and add a little lace to the edge there. Maybe a little not that. Maybe I have some pink lace. Just a little lace right there. And that'll be a place to tuck. Okay, so I have, I'll do a little tag in here, but just so you can see. So, actually, let's just go ahead and add a little lace. Okay. This is pretty. I just didn't want to get into too much lace. This is what I can reach right now. I think I'll just do this right here. I keep forgetting y'all are with me. Let's put that right on the edge. Whoops, my glue's seeping out. Put that right on the edge there. That's cute. All right. Might want to come in, and after I get my ribbons out, I might do a slim piece of, actually, I've got some right here. This is pretty. This is just, I'm gonna put a little bit of that on. It's like a little organza ribbon right there. I may come in and do something down the middle of this lace here. Okay, let me cut that off. You don't need much glue for this. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with my Fabri-Tac. I think I'm gonna have to get in there and poke a hole at the bottom because it looks like it's clogged. It's a little thick. Now you can, if you use any Fabri-Tac, you can, and it gets thick, you can use acetone, I guess you call it, and just put a little in there, and that will thin it down, just like you were to thin down nail polish, and it does work. Okay, so there's that. A library card. Let me see if I have one here. I have this box. If you missed, I know I'm a little close here, but if you missed number one, the first one, I showed the different things I would be adding into this. So I did pull out, let me move it aside, a couple of library cards because I thought that even though the inside of this book is super clean, here we go. And I'll probably come back and do a little something trim, on this library card, but that I can put right in here. This has been coffee dyed. So this actually is sticky, And believe it or not, let me use this. This is just Eileen's tacky glue. Let's say that I put that right in the coffee dye, and the stickum stays. There's still stickum on there. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Actually, I should put a little cheesecloth under this library card, but I think I'll just decorate the outside. I'll come back and do something with that. Probably stencil it and put some lace on it. Okay, we got a little bit more time. I probably will come back and do some trim on this. We can add, I wanted to add on this one, this button card. I want it there. I think I'm gonna add it here. And it'll be a tuck spot. This would also make a cute journaling card, but we're just gonna use it as a tuck spot. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna move it over here in case I decide to put a little lace. Oops. A little lace down. I hope I'm staying in frame. Goodness. I might add a little lace down the side here. I don't know. I struggle with those buttons so much that it's like, I feel like putting the journal away right now. It's like, whoa, why am I fighting with these buttons? Okay, then we're gonna put something here. I have, I wanted to do this little flip somewhere as a tuck. And then I've got some envelopes I want to tip in and different things like that, but we may be out of time for that today. I'm thinking, well, this is going to flip up, so I might just, I think I'm just going to have an area just to tuck behind it there. And, oops, you know what? I got to add a little bit. I just got to add a little ink. I can find my inker. Had it on my desk somewhere. Oh, here, I'll use this one. It's kind of dark. This is brushed corduroy. What I like to do is to do the inside. Well, I don't know why I'm doing the back. Okay. Oops. Okay. So this is just going to be a little tuck here for a tag and then a flip up. And I should just use my Cosmic Shimmer. I don't know why I keep reaching for this Fabri-Tac, and I mean it glues everything, but it's very expensive, and I like to keep it mostly for my fabrics. So I'm going to put that right in the middle. So that's cute. Probably come back and do a little something else on this page. And I think I'm gonna call it a day right now because I gotta feed my dogs and I hear my husband coming in. So we will come back and we will do some more on this Cinderella book, and put some corners on it and whatever. Add some tags and make some of these into, put some holes and some tabs and different things on these tags. Okay guys, thanks for watching today, and I will link the other videos of this series below. Okay, have a great one. Bye-bye.